Hello everybody, how is it going? Welcome to another episode of Drives of the Axe FX3. Today we are checking out a pedal that was made famous by Meshuggah, and that is the TC Electronic Integrated Preamp. And guys, if you're first time here or if you've been here before, make sure you are subscribed. We do lots of cool stuff here, and I don't want you to miss any of that cool stuff, so make sure you are subscribed. So without any further ado, let's jump right in and check out the TC Electronic Integrated Preamp. We are checking out the preamp here on the Axe Wiki. It honestly has one of the weirdest names. It's like very like a technical name. It's not very fun. I'll elaborate when I'm talking about that one later. So this was literally just added into firmware 27.02 on the Axe FX3 as of recording this right now on November 3rd, 2024. It's not on the FM3R9s, but it'll probably make its way there. This pedal has been infamous for a very long time. I actually saw one listed yesterday for like 400 bucks. So they're still out there, but they're really expensive. They're really cool. Basically, what they're good for is kind of what you're in the intro. They're very good for like extended range or lower tune guitars. You can kind of cut the bass out of there, and you can kind of boost the highs up, and it kind of gives you that good like gent tone, kind of like what kind of defined Meshuggah's early guitar tones. And it's really good for guitars. It's really good for guitars and for amps that kind of have like a really thick low end, but you kind of want to cut it out. It's very, very, very good for that. So if you look on the pedal itself, you have unity at 0, but you can also take stuff out and you can also put stuff in. And the frequencies on here is you have a bass and treble, that's it, and you have volume, and you kind of can't really turn it on or off. So if you put it in front of your amp, it's on for good. The frequencies on this particular TC Electronic, on this particular pedal, the bass is at 100 hertz, and the treble is at 5,000 kilohertz. So it's at 5K, essentially. And that comes directly from the manual, because I kind of looked this up because I wanted to get all my facts straight before I even talked about it. So that's directly from the manual itself. Now, as I was saying, this pedal is kind of hard to find and it's very elusive, but lucky for us, there have been some clones of it made. And I say clones, this is technically a clone, but it's kind of in a little expansion on it. I know it's kind of hard to see, but this is a Pepper's Pedal Dirty Tree, okay? This comes from New Zealand. These pedals absolutely slam. They are absolutely amazing. If you want to slap this on like a Recto, or what we're going to be trying out today on a Revv 100R, it's great for it. You can cut out all of that like thick low end, but you can kind of put some back if you want. This one has like, it's pretty much the same thing, but you have an on and off button on it, which is actually really cool. You can auto custom colors. Check out Pepper's pedals if you want one in real life. This is one of my favorite drive pedals like ever. It's really great. Not sponsored, by the way. I just love it a lot. This just got added to the wiki, and I love it. It's like, information will be added soon for metal. Very high volume boost, bass cut, active tone controls. Not switchable. High voltage Meshuggah. The thing with the voltage is you could like regulate the voltage on it. I think if you put like 24 or like 30 volts in it, it like obviously it gave you more volts, but it kind of affected things a little bit more, and that's kind of what guys did. They put more like voltage to it, and it gave them a better gent tone. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm kind of spitballing there. Kind of as like what I've read about it is like if you put more voltage to it, it changes the effects a little bit. Kind of makes it a little bit more active. It cuts and boosts a little bit better. You also do have the Fortin 33. I prefer the Dirty Tree over the Fortin, because the Fortin is really just one knob. So it's kind of like just one knob, and it's like set to the best settings, and you kind of just turn it. With the Dirty Tree, you can finesse it to the way you want. You can get exactly where you want. I've been doing some yapping. Let's check out what we'll be doing. Using Revv 1 is what we're doing. IR is tight butthole. That is a Ingle and an Uber. It's like 2 Ingles and an Uber from DGD Contenders pack. Using the Integral Pre, that's what it's called in here. And that's pretty much it. We are going to be using my Mayonnaise Duvel 7-string in some drop A flats at 25.5 scale. And I have some bare knuckle cold sweats on the neck and the bridge. So I'm going to play for you a little bit. I'll come back and talk and play, and we'll do all that fun stuff. So that is pretty much the pedal right off the bat. As you can see, it slams. I prefer to run the level a little low, kind of around 7. I find 7 is so much a sweet spot for things. Around 7 and 8, maybe in 6. I turn my level right around there. Same thing for treble. I kind of around 6, 7 that range. Because if you heard, when you push it way up like this, it gets like kind of overwhelming and it gets really scratchy. You hear how much better that is lower? Probably can even put it a little bit lower though. Let's test that out. Yeah, it's even better lower. So go conservative on your treble. Okay, let's talk about the bass. So as you see, I have the bass all the way down, and let's look on my amp. So the Revv Red 1, the red channel, it can be very bassy. It's kind of big and thick. It's made to be like a recto or a Bogner. It's just big and thick, right? I normally run my bass lower than this, but when you cut the bass on here, it kind of took too much of it out, so I'll put it back in the amp. It very rarely do I ever have to do that, but I just did that because I wanted some low in there. I could watch when I barely move the bass, how much it's gonna come up. So you see how like bassy and fat it gets? Even like right there, watch, this is gonna be overwhelming. This is with the bass down. So watch if we completely cut it here, and we'll leave it like right there. So this is what it's like if I've had my amp like set normally with like the bass settings. Yeah, it's genty, but there's no low end on it, and it kind of sounds gross. And especially like a naked tone like this, just playing for a video, it makes it even worse. You definitely want some low end, so that's why I have my bass like kind of like around basically 12. Just to give it some thunk. I probably could put a little bit more, maybe. Not exactly sure how this is going to come across. There. Hopefully you're going to hear the same things. Yeah, let's lower the bass a little bit there. It's kind of like good right around there. What else can we really look at here? I mean, that is really about it. As you heard, I mean, okay, you put the bass up, you get the bass laying right there. This is a very like simple pedal. It isn't overly complicated. To tell you the truth, I mean, you kind of really have 3 knobs if we're keeping it like straight as the original pedal here. I didn't screw anything in here. I never usually screw anything in here. You can mess with the EQ. I find the EQ, like, you can make changes to it, but it isn't, like, overly drastic. Let's test that bass one more time. Yeah, look, I'm, like, barely up. Like, I barely have anything in there, and it's, like, so overwhelming. So you have to play nice with the bass knob. And as I showed you before, on the original pedal right here, it's kind of like you can boost it or you can cut it. I don't exactly know how they did that one-to-one in the Axe-Fx itself, with where if it's boosting and where it's cutting. I think they kind of did it linear. I think, meaning to where like if it's down you're cutting, and if you come up, I really don't know. So let me just shut up and stop talking. But I really like this pedal a lot. It's cool. I think I'm gonna use this more for like my 7-string stuff when I like definitely want like a straight up gent tone. I also use, like in my normal patches, I also use the precision drive a lot, and the precision drive has an attack knob, which I assume that the attack knob is kind of borrowing from the integrated preamp too. And oh yeah, I want to say it, like Dirty Tree has an infinitely better name. The Dirty Tree is a cool name for a pedal, as opposed to like, this is your integrated preamp. It's just very like not fun of a name. I mean, the pedal is awesome, but just to kind of give you a little comparison real quick, and I'll get you guys out of here. Just kind of want to show you what I'd like to do with the precision drive. I normally have my attack up a little bit more. So But this is like my normal 7-string, like per. I mean, the per means I have like a little bit more gain on it. Per's a little bit more, so you get a little bit more gain. So like if we go back to the integrated preamp, let's see what this sounds like. So they're very similar. This one's like a little bit more aggressive, and this one's kind of like more easier. Sound is like jacked up to like 11. This is like straight up 11. So guys, I'm going to get you out of here. That is the integrated preamp. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a like if you thought it was very cool. And guys, there's so much stuff out there trying to vie for your attention, and you chose to spend some time with me talking about a Meshuggah pedal and the axe effects I got out of it, and I really appreciate it. And guys, I'll check you and catch you in the next one. Peace.